family. As you probably can tell by the title, I'm going to be putting together this
Lazer
CNC machine, which is this code here. No idea, I can't remember. What I'll do is I'll put timestamps to each individual piece, like the frame, the laser, various other bits that I think might be useful, and I'll put them in the description. I'm quite excited about this one because I've always wanted a Lazer CNC machine ever since I'd first heard about one, you know, even when they were thousands of pounds. Anyway, hopefully this shouldn't be too hard to put together, but it's a Chinese one, and I often find bits and pieces missing, and you know, we'll just see. Anyway, let's get on. Now on the underside, let me just show you quickly. Something has been poking out and getting scratched and destroyed, so hopefully that's not really important. This is all of the screws and stuff. This actually looks like it's pretty well organised, to be honest. The fact that this is all in a little box rather than in plastic bags and so on. Got the laser, we've got, oh my god, it's all powered by an Arduino. We've got the Arduino, we've got the motor drivers. I assume that's for connecting the laser to the thing, but I'm not sure. A few bits of perspex, framing and so on. Power supply, and it's not the right plug. Happy days. Very, very cheap and janky glasses. Now I'm going to have to get some proper ones because the lasers in this are no joke, but they'll do for now. I've got another set of those cheap ones upstairs, so I'll probably put them both on. Right. Now this is the actual frame for it. I know what the thing was that was sticking out the side. Right, let's get the wires out first. Dig it out. The adapter. And believe it or not, because it's only the adapter, it's absolutely fine. Okay. I hate this stuff. Right, we got a couple of stepper motors. This stuff gets oh my god, it's actually in the motors. I'm actually going to have to take the motors apart to get that stuff out. Don't want that melting, you know, getting hot and melting or... Right, okay, that's another fun job. Right, put that to be incinerated immediately. Okay, so here's all the parts all placed out nice and neat, and the one thing you will notice is this amazing manual. The only problem is, this is all how to use the software and nothing to do with how to set it up. So, not only is it badly written, it's not got the information I need. But let's put it together anyway. Okay, for the frame you're going to need this stuff, and sadly I've already come across a problem because they're already missing some screws. So I'm going to have to mess about with screws I've got to hopefully get this working. Okay, the first thing you want to do is put the screw through the angle bit, and then screw the nut on very loose. There you go. Do that for all of them. and make sure that the nut is the thing that's on the sort of the flat side, let's say. They should look like that. Okay, before you put the back piece on, and it doesn't matter which of the thin ones is the back piece, but connect one side in, hang on, and then put 2 bolts down it. Don't matter where they go for now, just as long as they're in there. Next thing we have to do is add the belt, and what you want to do is put them all together. There'll be one longer one, that's not what you want for now. Right, now the belts go face down so the teeth are down into the frame. This is a bit where I'm not 100% sure. This is the bit you're supposed to put on, and from the looks of it, you put a bit of it through the actual little gap, and then screw it down, and that's what I'm gonna do. So what we need to do, and this is the fun bit, is get one of our little rocker things. I'm not actually sure what these ones are called, and we're gonna leave basically about 1 centimetre to about 1/2 inch maybe, and we're gonna stick that in there. Now one way I find that's easier, is if you screw a screw in just a little bit. Hang on. Just a little bit, making sure it's not coming all the way through, and then you've got something that you can actually hold on to and push it up. Once you've got it a little bit in, use your screwdriver, but be really careful not to stab yourself, which I have done doing something very similar before. If you're having trouble, just give it a little tap with a mallet. And what I do is I go backwards and forward, well, from left to right, to make sure it's all coming through properly. Okay, now I'm putting that up like that. I honestly don't know if that's how it goes. Can you even see that? Let me turn it over to show you what it's doing. So we've got it down, and we plonk that bit through, and then we screw it down, and that way we've got this bit sticking out. I don't know if that's right, to be honest. It doesn't explain it in the instructions at all. So that's what I'm going to do, but obviously I'm doing it that way around so it's all nice and black and not got the paper on. You can take the paper off both sides, but I can't be bothered, so I'm not going to. Okay, I've done both sides, but I'm not doing the back yet. I'm going to wait until I've got the rest of this on all the actual stepper motors in, then I will connect the back. Okay, next we need to put the feet on. Again, remove all of the plastic. Oh, such a nice sound. All the plastic covering. ASMR. Just for you guys. Okay, so this is as simple as you'd think. Plonk it on here, and then screw it in. Okay, I'm going to do this side as well, but I'm not going to do the back where I haven't connected the ribbon in yet. I'm going to leave that till after I've put the stepper motors on and the X-axis. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to leave these two pieces that go on the back and these two pieces, and we will do them once we've got the actual stepper motors on and bolted down, etc. Right, the next thing we're going to have to make is this, and it's really straightforward as long as you get the right screws. It's all straightforward. So you're going to need this stepper motor. You're going to want the middle, 4 of the middle-sized screws, the black ones. So if you have a look, okay, 4 of the middle-sized ones. So there's those. Oh, 4 of them, 4 of these, and then you need 4 middle-size silver screws. So let me see, these ones, oh, not that one. They're very, very similar in size, these ones. There you go. This is all coming off, so let's get it off. I was going to leave this one on, but no. I'll have to unscrew it all in a sec. Right. Okay. So first things first. I have to pull this one off as well now. Sadly, I'm going to have to remove all of the ones now. I was going to leave it on the feet, the blue bit, just because of avoiding it getting scratched, but apparently not. So I'll have to take that off as well in a sec. Right. Can we see that? Well enough. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, your 4 screws. Your spacer washer things. Oh, one thing I haven't got, which would be helpful, is the bolts we need. Okay, I've noticed with some of these, they're slightly out of alignment. If you just get your little thing and your Allen key, and then it should, oh, come on. There you go. Some of them are quite badly out of alignment, but it's, you know, it's just a case of moving it across. It's the bolts we've been using, they're the nuts we've been using for the whole project, basically. Right, so these go up this way, and what you want to do is, let me just plop that there a second. You want to make sure you've got both your stepper motors with their the cable attachment facing towards the back. So we'll make them, so at this one I'm going to put this way as well. Okay, that's that done. I'm just going to take this one apart and take the blue off now, sadly. Okay, I've had to bring the doohickey out a little bit more. And all that is a case of undoing the grub screws, pulling it out to where you need it, and tightening the back up. So then all you need to do is, trying to get this in camp shops, it's so big, it's horrendous. Right, plonk this on, a bit of brute force, there you go, that's in. And now this needs to go under here. Can I get it on first try? No, nope, because I'm on the camera. Obviously it's going to take me 20 tries now. Up, round, and then back down on itself. And then you need to tighten them at both ends to make sure this is tight on there. So like that. And then basically that's how it goes across, blah blah blah. So I'm just going to tighten this at both ends, and I'm going to do the other one on the other side. Okay, it's actually starting to look like something. These are working fine. So next, oh by the way, you might notice I haven't taken these off yet. I want to make sure it's all working absolutely fine first, then I will. In fact, there's a little bit of extra tightening I can do on that one. So lucky I didn't cut it off. Well, saying that, if I'm tightening I'll be making more. Never mind, forget I said anything. Okay, next we'll make the enclosure for the brains of the operation. Basically it's an Arduino and a couple of drivers. A couple of motor drivers. Pretty straightforward, to be honest. And this, I believe, is to make it high and low power on the actual the laser. Right, let's take these bits off. That'll take me 25 minutes. I've got some heat sinks somewhere which I'm going to put on these because they do get hot. I would advise that if you can, just get a couple of heat sinks. I might actually put a fan on it. Depends how hot it gets, to be honest. When I made my first ever CNC machine, it was just it just held an actual pen. I found that the motor drivers got really, really hot very, very quick. But then again, I'd wired it up, so that could just be my own fault. Who knows? Who cares? Now I believe I'll probably have to put spacers on this, so we'll have a look now. I assume they go there. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Check out this screw to see if this is the right size one. What's funny is I haven't had any screws that would fit here at all. Then we'll have to do the next best thing. Right. Oh, okay, that one. Okay, just. Oh. Seriously, there's been hardly any of the right things. Well, there we go. We've got no more nuts left. So I'm gonna have to remove this one. No, this one. Okay, so I've got at least one either at either end, well, in opposite corners, just hold it there. I'm hand tightening them, but that'll make them tight enough by a long way. Okay. So we don't need this at the moment. I might connect it later, I might not, but then again it might be easier to actually connect some heat sinks if I don't bother covering it all up. It doesn't want to fit on there anyway. Right, so that's that. Next, we have this. So let's take this off. I wish I could have left one side of it on so it didn't get so scratched, but such is life. And I quite like the blue, to be honest. I had to leave recording for a little while and help get the kids ready for bed and so on. And I come back down and it's blinking freezing down here, so excuse me if I start shivering. But I don't put the heating on just for myself, there's no point. Right, okay. So, this up through here, this on here, this on here, that on there. The only thing is there's supposed to be one down the bottom, but I've got no screws to go through it. Oh well. Okay. Okie dokie. So far, even though the few instructions I've got are terrible, the rest of this has been quite straightforward, to be honest. Now this goes on like that. Pretty straightforward. Come on. Not quite how I wanted it to plan. How I wanted it to plan? I know what I mean. Pretty straightforward. Well, that one doesn't want to go on. Try that one. See, he's much better behaved. Last one, and probably the hardest. So far, so good. So this just goes along here like that, and then that goes on here. Now, the next thing is we need to do the same again with the timing belt, or the belt. Is it timing? I don't know. Right. Right, like before, you want to have it all facing down, and then we're going to do exactly what we did last time. It works, it's okay, it's fairly quiet, which means it's not loose. So, yeah, we'll see. See how that works. Right, now we need to put this on the actual CNC, so let's do that next. Should be fairly straightforward, hopefully. So now, let's put the electronics on at the back, the little brains. Why do I call it the brains? Well, I suppose it is, so shush. Right, where is it? What have I done with it? Again, this is just real super straightforward stuff. Line up the screws, line up the nuts, screw them in. No more screws left of the right size, so it's going to be wobbly like that for now until I get some. But I'd like to get some screws that will fit through here and I can connect the whole thing up. Next, it's wiring it up, and it looks pretty straightforward. Yes, James. And then I go and mess it up like that. Right. That in there. With these wires, they can only go one way round, as in the you know, you can't accidentally get the polarity round the wrong way. So it's basically plug and play to some degree. Well, plug, and then we'll see how much play there is when we get around to it. Okay, on the actual board we have X, Y and Y2. So X is obviously the top one. Don't know what that accent was, but yeah. And then we got, I don't think it would matters which way round we put the Y's. Okay, there we go. So that's the X going to basically the thing that's holding the laser. Then we've got the two Y's, which are the two motors either side. So to attach the laser, it's as simple as it looked before. You basically plonk it in. Let's unscrew these. Plonk it in and screw it down. But try and get it the right way round. Jeezy crazy. Okay, it's really late at night. I'm gonna not take that. There you go, sorted. Just make sure that's in enough. Yep. Okay. That in, done. And then that's the laser. Job done. There is one more plug on this. There's a plug there, and I've got no idea what it's for. Something I've just read on the bit of blurb I've got. That there is for a fan. And I assume, yeah, it's a 12 volt fan, so that'd be quite handy. Or I can add 12 volt battery, 12 volt lights, or I'm thinking about making a camera for this actually. So I can have the whole thing in a box, and then I've got a camera facing down towards it so you can see what's going on inside. Okay, so that was a bit of a palaver. There's a lot of screws missing, and I had to make up some bits to, put it together. I didn't have any instructions apart from this booklet here, this whole booklet, and it literally is it shows you what the schematics, and then the rest of it is just installing the software, and it's just page after page. Well, it's about 4 pages of rubbish. So yeah, I consider I did quite well, considering I had no help at all, and it was just putting it together. But yeah, there was so many bits and pieces. Now I've got the odd nut still lying around. There are about 30 screws left, but none of them are for any part of this, which is just bonkers. They've just chucked stuff in. Anyway, obviously I haven't had a chance to get it up and running and so on, but I haven't got any of the software. It didn't come with software either, even though it said it should do. I will be contacting the person I bought it from, but I'm going to go download some software, whether I have to pay for it or whether I get a free one, I'm not sure yet. And then next video, hopefully we'll start burning some stuff. I've got a freaking laser beam, so I hopefully will get, it's either that or I'm going to make it into a lightsaber, and we're going to cut some stuff. Right, anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye.